What's up guys, Woo here, back again with another Division 2 video guys, welcome back. And as you can see in the background, this is me streaming my build on Sunday. So I've picked out the best bits from this particular run through of DUA on legendary missions, guys, and it's fantastic. Now this will work well in 2 of the 3 legendary missions available. So DUA, this is a dream build. For anyone that likes status effects, you will really see the benefits with this setup. Then you have capital building. Guys, again, this will be brilliant in that. I've tested it, it works. However, on Roosevelt Island, yeah, it's a little bit different simply because there's so much open space. And this build doesn't do wonders. You have to twist and tweak the build up. But, guys, those 2 missions, DUA, capital building, you are laughing all the way to the bank. Guys, what are you doing with this? You are keeping enemies fixed in place and also buffing teammates, which is really cool. And the good thing is you can switch the relevant pieces you need for certain scenarios as you progress through legendary missions. So of course guys, if you enjoy this video, thumbs doodle, it helps, it really does. And if you're new to the channel, drop the woo bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's woo this. Peeps, welcome back. This is the build I've been using, DUA, capital building, and it is top tier. Build it, test it, and you will see how valuable you can be in those kind of legendary missions. Let's woo this. Guys, Technician specialization is my go-to. Why woo? Why using Technician? Because 1, skill damage. Yeah, a little bit of skill damage because that will elevate the status effect damage because you're rolling with Eclipse Protocol and the Vile Mask. So that will help you elevate more damage. Also, guys, it also gives you that +1 passive skill tier. That means you can put some armor onto the build to make you a bit more survivable. You know, legendary content, one shot, and you're pissing in the wind. You've got that problem. So it's nice to stack as much armor as possible to give you a bit more aggression in your playstyle. So this guy's Technician is awesome with the setup. I'm rolling with 0 offensive, 1 defensive, and 5 utility stats. And guys, yeah, I've got a little bit of crit on there, just a little bit, just to make sure my Pestilence does hit a little bit harder. But anyway, guys, let's go for the build. Now, I'm rolling with the Eclipse Protocol gear set. And with this, you know it is a skill builder status effect dream. Why is that? Now, the 2-piece grants you 15% status effects. The 3-piece will give you 15% skill haste and 30% hazard protection. And that's key, absolutely key. Again, when you're rolling against those nasty big chungers that will just get close to you, drop their hive, and they will bleed you to death. It's nice to have that little bit of hazard protection. And, yeah, the 4-piece indirect transmission. Your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refresh 50% of the duration. This will in turn change, I guess, in the new update. But again, at the minute, it's top tier. Hopefully, when it's tweaked, it'll be a little bit better, but we'll see when it drops. Now the key with this, guys, is it's imperative. You roll status effects everywhere on your build. Status effects will prolong the burn, the bleed, the blind. Any status effect skill variance, it will prolong that damage and that duration. So that's key to have it on the build. Status effects, best in slot. And in terms of the knee pads, guys, again, song remains the same, 10% status effects. Now the gloves guys, again 10% status effects. I'm rolling with the Eclipse Protocol chest piece, which is rolled with status effects, skill haste, which is max, and proliferation. Increases indirect transmission range from 15 to 20 meters, and refresh percentage from 50% to 75%. Again, really good chest piece to have. Then we look at the backpack. Now the backpack is something completely different to what I'm rolling with ordinarily. And the reason why I'm rolling with this is 2 reasons. Gilligard, yeah, that's 5% total armor. That will elevate my armor from 913k if everything is maxed, up to 954.5k, which is awesome. So that's 170k from the armor, and plus, yeah, some nice 5% extra from the brand set. With this, guys, I'm on a critic chance. Again, it's there because it's there. I can't re-roll it. If I could, it'd be skill haste, and that'd be nice, or skill damage. And then you have 9.8% status effects, which is key. A 10% bleed resistance mod, which helps me again. especially when I get close to them chungers, and they're dropping their hives like no business. It's nice to have that little bit of bleed resistance. And the talent Galvanize. Applying a blind, ensnare, confuse, or shock to an enemy grants 40% of your armor as bonus armor to allies within 20 meters of that enemy for 10 seconds. 20 meters is a fairly decent range, so you know, in close-knit missions like District Union, Capital Building, you're laughing because you're just going to gift armor to your teammates that makes them survive longer, and if they have Intimidate on their chest piece, if they're rolling with DPS build, they will hit harder. So this is a really good support talent to have. There are different ways and means how you can roll with this, but for me, this rolls really, really well. It just gives me that extra little bit of survivability and saves the bacon on many, many occasions. Galvanize, good talent, highly underused. When you use it correctly, it adds so much value. And of course, guys, the Vile Mask, which is status effects, hazard protection, and skill haste. Toxic delivery is the talent. Status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade and increased by your status effect attributes. Now with this, guys, you know I've gone status effects all the way. If you go with Demolitionist, then you're going to create a little bit more damage because concussion grenade, explosive damage go hand in hand. So that's something to bear in mind if you want to. Me, I want the survivability. I want to gift more armor to my teammates. 40% of 955k is simply 380k. They can get that every 10 seconds on the build. So that's a really, really good addition to have. So guys, I like this. This works well for me. Vile Mask is awesome on the setup also. So make sure you're checking that out if you can. Now we go for the weapons. Primary weapon, guys, is the Pestilence. It is just brilliant. Whether you're rolling a DPS build, tank build, if you're rolling a skill build, Pestilence is awesome. Now again, if I could roll with a skill damage, I could roll with Perpetuation on my lovely Everlasting Gaze, which I do sometimes. I do switch to this to, again, extend the duration and damage. That is nice. But Pestilence, with that damage over time, with the debuff, it helps. It really helps. And it's a really good, excellent, in my opinion, first choice primary weapon to have in slot. Plague of the Outcast. Hits apply a debuff, dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times whenever an enemy dies. With this debuff, all stacks are transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. And the key with this, guys, is spread the love. Spread the talent. Make sure you're not just focused on one NPC. Focus on many. And then when you have one which is quite low on armor, quite low in health, you know what to do. Take him out quickly. And that will spread that extra damage, which is tasty, to all NPCs when they're in that vicinity, and that's nice. That's nice, guys. That's something to bear in mind. Guys, Pestilence, awesome. I agree. Now, mod-wise, guys, simply they are fixed at rate of fire, stability, and accuracy. And then we have the lovely, let me get it in turn, yeah, the Everlasting Gaze. And I use this again just to apply that nice little bit of status effects. Perfect Perpetuation. Headshots grant plus 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. And it's 16-second cooldown. I don't like the cooldown, guys. I don't, but it's nice to have something like this in your artillery. You could go with the Harmony for the extra skill damage. That does help also, but again, this is a status effect build, so this also helps as well. It is, again, personal preference, but my primary is all about the Pestilence. And the Boomstick, yeah, backup Boomstick. I don't use this in legendary content. It's there simply for show. So don't worry, it's just there. There's plenty of other options if you want to use your pistol, but I don't, and many players don't in legendary missions, so don't worry about it. Cool, let's take a look at the skills. Now, I've been twisting and fixing this up in many different scenarios. So the main skills I go for, let me just change this up for you guys so I can show you. Now, the main skills I go for on this build are the Shock Trap. I just feel that's great. Any DPSs are going to love you for this because they just fix the chungas in place. The doggos as well from time to time. And then you have, again, any rushes, purples, reds, yellows, that when they charge, you know they're going to be shocked. And the longer the duration, the more damage output your DPSs can do, just quicker and more efficiently. So Shock Trap is great. It is great in, again, as we say, small confined spaces. It is perfect. Big open spaces, we talk about, again, Roosevelt Island. It has its moments. It has its times, but still, I personally prefer this as a go-to in tight situations. Now, the second, or say the other skill that I'm using, is the Riot Foam Chem Launcher. This is awesome. Now, I do change this up. And the reason I change this up, well, again, we'll go through what this is all about first. And this is all about, again, 8 ammo, 8 second cooldown. Oh, I'm in the range. This is wrong. It's about a 17, 18 second cooldown. And the ensnare duration is 17.6 seconds. The foam health is 1.8 million. And this is nice. Again, NPCs, this is awesome. It fixes them in place. So you want duration on there and you want ammo on there. Now, in terms of the mods on the shock trap, let's take a look. It's not cooldown. It's about 40-second cooldown again, but the duration is 62 seconds. So you know you deploy it in that 40-second period. You can just dismantle it, start again, because you have over a minute duration of it being on the ground, which is awesome. And with this, guys, the radius is 4.2 meters. The duration is 8.4 seconds for the shock. Again, that's a good chunk of time to pump in as much damage as possible to NPCs. Duration is 4.9 seconds and shock radius as well. And then, guys, I do change my Riot Foam for this, the Jammer Pulse. And again, I use this, take out them dogs. It's key. Depends where you are, depends what you need. If you've got your shock trap, that's one option. You've also got then, you know, the Jammer Pulse, which is ace, and that will apply the disrupt status effect. And it's perfect for doggos. So make sure you have this, or you switch this up at certain elements through legendary missions. You will need the Jammer Pulse. I think it's awesome. In terms of the mods, simply radius and effect duration. Then, guys, let's take a look at the stats. Now, again, the weapon damage is going to be minimal because it's not about weapon damage. It's not. It's all about, again, having that crowd control. That's your build, and that's what you'll be doing highly effectively on this build, that's for sure. And as we go through the stats, again, don't worry too much about the damage output, but it's all about Galvanize, proliferation, toxic delivery, and having that piece of Gilligard to elevate your armor. That means you can gift more armor to your teammates, and I'll demonstrate in the range very shortly. Again, guys, hazard protection, it's nice to have on your build because, again, you know, you're going to get shredded, but nearly 50% hazard protection, it does help, and bleed resistance 60% does help. So something nice to have on your setup. Now, guys, I'll demonstrate this in the range, see how effective this is. First, I'm going to go and just get the headshot first, and we'll see. You can see I've been gifted armor, and that's 380k of armor. That pushes me well past 1.3 million. That means a huge heap more of survivability. And that's absolutely key in any difficult content. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, could get down the option of making sure that you are, yeah, the skill builder, the damage builder, because that's nice, that's going to help, that's for sure. But it's nice to have that nice little bit of survivability with your armor. Is key, I think it's awesome to have that status effect build on your team, just to slow down proceedings and make sure that DPSs can do the hard yards easier. But yeah, this is what you're looking at, guys. This is how good this is. But this is the build, guys. You've seen the action, you've seen how it works in PvE, you've seen how it works in legendary missions. It works a treat. Also deals damage because of the vile mask. You've got your shock trap, which is going to give you some nice, lovely shocks, which is key. Then you have, again, this one, which is awesome. Galvanize works great, so you can use a Firefly with this. You can use, again, Riot Foam, Confuse, or Shock, being a shock trap. You can have tamper proof on your chest piece if you wanted to. So you can have a hive, a pulse, or, yeah, the assault turret, or sniper turret. So many options how to roll with this. But this way, I've found highly effective. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please test this out in legendary missions. It will make your life a little bit easier, especially for the DPSs also in your team. As always, guys, see you in the next one. Peace.